For over a century, we have been using fossil fuels. This came with a big risk, which is climate change.
An unprecedented crisis threatens not only our planet, but our very existence. We see it in the rising sea levels and melting glaciers, in the extreme weather patterns, and in the expansion of our deserts. The arid climate has caused the degradation of fertile land, threatening food security for millions. That's why Extreme E is racing in Saudi Arabia, a sport built for purpose. The championship is helping restore oasis of this land, which has now been lost for generations, to bring the landscape back to life.
It's one of the largest conservation efforts going on in the world right now.
It's in the core of Extreme E to take care of the planet and do sports in a different way, do sports sustainably.
If you can make a piece of the planet more greener and more wilder, then we are leaving a legacy for our future.
Prepare to be aggressive.
Hyperdrive now.
Extreme E's Desert X Prix took place in Neom, Saudi Arabia. Aiming to leave a lasting positive legacy as it does in each of its race locations, the drivers revisited an ambitious re-greening project in the region.
We brought our drivers here last year as part of our first ever trip to Neom. I think we were the first project where we actually rewilded a lizard species and planted the first of their huge regreening program. The level of the project that Neom is investing in here is almost unprecedented. It's one of the largest conservation efforts going on in the world right now. But today was part of their biggest release yet.
Just before I set some framework to what we're doing today, I would like to also emphasize that we are releasing 3 wild species, not just 2. So there's the sand gazelle, the ostrich, and Christine GC, that they're going to be released back to the wild.
Neom is putting on a big project here to rewild a lot of different species. We've been rewilding sand gazelles and redneck ostriches behind us. But yeah, it's pretty special to see.
This is the biggest rewilding project in the world right now. It's the south of Belgium, this area, and 95% of this area is set aside to nature restoration projects. So this is all going to be green in many years.
So the regreening project actually started with the Extreme E Legacy event last year when you guys came here, and we started with 20 plants that was planted by 10 of your drivers. And that was the start for our regreening project. And this year, we are going to be planting, by the end of this year, 4.5 million plants. For me personally, it's about, if you can make a piece of the planet more greener and more wilder, then we are leaving a legacy for our future.
So we were planting some trees here. Could you tell me, how big is this area and what does it do for Neom?
Yeah, so this area where we are now, the plot is 75,000 square meters, 7.5 hectares. But that's a small part of the Neom planting, which will be 100 million trees. So that's the job, and would you just contribute your own share to that?
That's amazing. Really happy about that.
It's just amazing seeing what's happening with the work that's being done to bring all these animals back into their native habitat. Now we're down here doing some tree planting, part of the regreening. I think what's really special about Extreme E is the legacy projects, because we go to these amazing parts of the world, but we're not just sort of in and out doing our race program. We get to learn about what's happening firsthand with the environment in that area, and you're getting firsthand knowledge shared with you as well. So yeah, I feel very, very lucky to be part of it.
That is.
Across such an intense weekend of racing, there's lots going on behind the scenes at each X Prix. To mark the new season, we're bringing you more access to the paddock than ever before, starting with round 1 in Neom in Extreme E Unfiltered.
So it's Friday, and we're here in the Explorer Lounge. Just got done with free practice 1, and in between free practice 2, we've got Amanda practicing on force. I'm not sure this is going to relate to our actual time on the course. But hey, getting ready for free practice too, one way or another.
We are meeting Patrice Evra to race some RC cars. Hi man, Andreas Backer, nice to meet you.
Good?
How are you doing?
I'm good if you let me win. Let's do this. So you start here,
Yeah.
and I start here.
Over there, yeah?
Ready, set, go.
Ah!
My first lap was amazing. No! What's going on over there? Oh! Oh my God. So I'm sorry, you know, I lose. It's much better than me. He was even waiting for me. So no, thank you. I have a wonderful time.
That's the start, all the cars, that's turn 1. And we're just checking who takes which line. We're doing proper rallycross style here.
It's more important, 2 kilometers longer, but on the right spot. We need to come a little bit 1 meter again, set, then outside, in, out, and here keep, keep, out, and here is flat. Here is flat out, as no risk. You take no risk at all.
It's 6:30 a.m. early morning, first race day. Super pumped. Now we're gonna go out and push, finally do some racing where I feel at home. So it's gonna be a good day.
Good morning, first race day of season 3 is here. It's a very busy paddock.
It's Saturday morning and the first race of Extreme E 2023.
Let's go! Set!
Let's go. Let's go.
3, 2, 1, and through to camera 1.
We are racing for the planet and racing with a purpose. Season 3 of Extreme E is here.
Hammer down now, release the handbrake, and release all that horsepower down towards turn 1. Oh, into the water! Oh my God, they went
for a morning dip.
Everything okay?
Yes, it does.
That is unbelievable. I don't think we've ever seen a move like that in Extreme E. In fact, in any racing championship before.
Katie Mullins making a pass on Christine GZ. Door to door with a little bit of contact. Got to avoid the grass and she rolls! Mullins! Absolute carnage. There's Alatir on his side.
Unbelievable.
On the inside line, it's a great start for RJ Anderson, backs the car in, runs Matthias Ekstrom out wide, Ekstrom takes that long line. In the background, watch out here for Johan Kristoffersson, the RXR machine, he's passed 3 cars already, gonna try and take the McConnell line around the outside. RXR outside, inside line for Veloce, rear end of Fraser McConnell kicks up super high. It is RXR who lead.
So you did really great, Molly, so you can get on the bumper again. Go, go.
Good job, Molly, good job. P2.
Oh, we're getting a race control decision on RXR. What about? 136-second penalty for car 6. Slow zone speeding.
Disaster.
Gone on the gas too early, and that's going to hand the win then to Molly Taylor and Kevin Hansen for Veloce.
Woo! Winners of day 1 here, or race 1 of the season. What a great way to start the year with our new team, and
Start as you mean to go on, right?
exactly. So we got a new race tomorrow. Let's try to do the same.
After a win in the first race of Season 3 for Veloce Racing, things are looking promising for the British team. For Australian racing driver Molly Taylor, the love of motorsport started young.
My name is Molly Taylor and I'm driving in Extreme E for Veloce Racing. I think racing is in my blood. Both my parents and my granddad actually competed in rallying. My mum was actually a professional co-driver, so that was her 9-to-5 day job. So I actually grew up horse riding, and that was my goal when I was younger. I wanted to go to the Olympics for horse riding, and it wasn't until I spent a day at a rally school that my dad was running at the time when we were getting our driving licenses for the road, and he wanted to take us off the road and teach us some car control and those skills, and that for me was my first experience in driving a rally car and driving on gravel, and I just instantly fell in love and kind of turned back to them and said, you know, why didn't we do this 10 years ago? I think when I started rallying, I was so lucky that my mum was my role model, and that was what she did. And Dad would work from home and take us to school while Mum went out and raced, and that was kind of normal. And I didn't really appreciate at the time how many barriers that broke down for me, and what perspective and how that kind of changed the way I went about motorsport. I never really had to question, is this a place where I should be? What resistance am I going to face? Because I had this amazing example of, well, she wins and she's a female, so why can't I do it? Rallying in Australia is not as big as it is in Europe for sure. There aren't as many opportunities, so for me it was really important to get over to Europe to take the next step. I think it was a tough adjustment moving to Europe. It is very different to Australia, and I think also just being away from your networks as well. I remember I was renting a barn because I didn't have much money. I definitely remember it being quite tough because I was like 20, all my friends were out partying and doing all these things, and I was like alone in a barn or in a workshop. So yeah, it was definitely tough, but I think it's, it was never a question of, oh, this is too hard, I want to go home. It was like, this is tough, but this is what I got to do. So, a lot of cool memories from that time as well. I raced in season 1 of Extreme E for RXR. I think there's so many moments of season 1 Extreme E. I think one of the biggest ones was coming to Saudi in that first quali session, because it was, no one really knew what they were doing, and it was kind of the first test for everyone. So I think to be able to come out and win that first quali session was just an awesome feeling, because so much build up and anticipation to be able to come out on top and then win that round as well. I think that's probably one of the most special moments.
This is going to be the one. This is going to be Molly Taylor winning the first ever Extreme E X-Prix. She crosses the line.
When I got the call from the Veloce racing team to speak about joining them, I was definitely very open-minded, and then it was pretty evident from the first phone call that we had that this was a really exciting team and group of people, and I got just a really good feeling straight away. It's the perfect mix of that desire and ambition, but then also the skill and the experience of all the people on board. So for me, it was a pretty clear decision. The driver partnership is so important, and even from my rally experience, firstly, you both want to be fast, but you're working together. So instead of two teammates trying to be faster than the other one, you're actually trying to extract the most performance out of both the drivers. So if those two drivers can work well together, then it's a massive performance advantage. So I really feel that with Kevin. We have fun, we work well together, we're always working on different things, and I think that brings out the best in both of us.
With the third season of Extreme E underway in the sands of Saudi Arabia, a new upgraded tyre has been developed by the championship's official tyre partner, Continental.
Hey guys, what's up? Andreas Baccarat here, a brand new championship driver for Extreme E. So this year we have new tracks, we have a brand new tyre from Continental, new. Let's go.
With the learnings of season 1 and season 2, we had enough time to test further material, to further develop more technologies, and this is exactly what we are now bringing to season 3.
So there are a few differences when it comes to the new tyre for this season. Last year was 33% of sustainable material. We've increased it now up to 43% of sustainable material. So we're still using materials like rice husk, the 60 recycled plastic bottles in the tyre. And mainly the performance and the handling is much better in this season 3 tyre.
So we've been testing this tyre last year at Sardinia on rough conditions with Fraser, and his feedback was very good, so we were able to bring it in this season.
So we really did a lot of baseline testing with the season 2 tyre. With that baseline we moved on to the season 3 options, so we're able to compare season 2 with season 3 potentials. Put them through a lot to see how they held up. Some did, some didn't, and we really chose the best ones. I have my faith in Conti that they've done their work, and it's going to be brilliant.
As the drivers lined up to race again for round 2 of the Desert X-Prix, here's more behind-the-scenes access from Neom in Extreme E Unfiltered.
Good morning racing, race day number 2 here at the Desert X Prix. Another stunning day in Saudi, in Neom. And we've got racing action out there, but we've got to give a huge shout out to the mechanics who have spent the night working so hard to get these cars back out on course. Now, one of the teams who had an enormous job to do yesterday was at Cupra after the roll for NASA.
Alatia's gone over the front of the McLaren.
Unbelievable. Once again, that camel grass just getting in the way, causing issues, but good to see that Nessa is okay.
Thankfully, you're doing okay. I've heard your mechanics have had about 1 hour's sleep. Talk to me about this rebuild.
Yeah, it was a long day, you know, for all the mechanics and the teams, and finish around 4 o'clock in the morning.
The guys did a super good job. It was a huge work to change everything. We had just time to go to the hotel, take a shower, and come back here at 7 o'clock. So that was a big challenge.
We forget what happened yesterday, and today is a new day, and we try to do our best.
Nasser Alatia, 4th from the left on your picture, comes across, do a bit of contact with Elias Sands. Alatia goes up the inside into the door, runs the RXR wide. Contact, was it too much? I don't think it was. Alatia and Anderson, though, coming up towards the finish line. This is a brilliant result for App Cupra. Great tactics from them, and they're going to book themselves a spot in the final.
Well done, well done, well done, well done, well done, well done. Very well done. Good job, Clara.
Guys, we don't do it for nothing. Yes!
The tension is building. This is the moment, our second race of the season.
Well, the Acciona Science machine of Ekstrom looked like it had 2 stabs at the throttle, but on the left-hand side of your screen, plenty of room for Anderson. She's not going to make it to turn 1 first. Christopherson making the same move as yesterday. Now we look for the Anoa Hyperdrive. Christopherson goes first, but Ekstrom's used it already, has got a brilliant exit. No one's getting back to Ekstrom. Yesterday they were P2, but today they're going to go one better. Elias Sands is going to come down and jump over the finish line. Acciona Science win their first ever Extreme E race here at Neom in Saudi Arabia.
Vamos, Laya, que hemos ganado la carrera.
Well, man. ¿Qué pasa? They won. No, Carol,
As the sun set on the first 2 rounds in Neom, it marked the end of the first weekend of the championship's thrilling new racing format. Wheel-to-wheel racing from the off and a double-header at every single race location. It's set to make Season 3 of Extreme E the most competitive yet.
Well, we were thinking how to give more racing to the fans, and we came up with this idea. Let's do 1 race on Saturday, 1 race on Sunday. We're here anyway.
I love to drive, so we drive way more than ever before. That's super cool.
The new format's really fun, doing all the head-to-head races. That's really Kevin's wheelhouse, and we've seen that over the past couple of days.
The new format, I like it. It's very intense. You can't afford the mistakes.
It's more, you know, wheel-to-wheel racing, and it's not only about ultimate pace.
You know, it's fun from the driving perspective. It always throws in so many more unknowns because you know, you're not only working on your pace, but everything else is happening around you, which is depending on so many different factors. So I think it throws a whole lot more into the whole package and the whole race format, and it also gives everyone, you know, great opportunities every race as well.
It's cutthroat, you know, you need to be on the toes and you can't afford having any bad luck. This was not our weekend, but the pace was there throughout it all.
So the competition is getting tighter and tighter, and on Sunday it was very tight in between a lot of the teams, so trying to avoid mistakes is going to be key.
This format suits my driving, my racing instinct quite a lot. I'm coming from the rallycross background, so I know this side-by-side racing and rubbing. So I love it, and when I use my elbows, it's even better. So that's why I'm really looking forward for the rest of the season.
As part of its commitment to making a lasting positive change in the countries it visits, Extreme E returns to its race locations to ensure that the work started during the week of the X Prix continues. Its latest legacy trip saw drivers Clara Anderson and Katie Munnings return to Greenland, location for round 3 of Season 1, the Arctic X Prix. The trip was Extreme E's 3rd visit to its most northerly race site. Last year, Kevin Hansen and Hedda Hossas helped establish a school karting program to teach children about green energy solutions and e-mobility. The program has now been moved on to a second school, this time in Sisimiut.
Today we are at a technology centre, which Sisimiut is based around. We've got a load of students coming in and we're designing a track. We've got quite a small space, so we're trying to be quite creative. We've done a couple of hairpins, then we've got a bit of a loop in the middle. It'll be really cool to meet some local students here and hopefully have some fun on track. Woo! Well done! Woo!
So Sisimiut as a city is known for its technology. It has Greenland's Tech College here. This is where the future engineers will be made, right here in this hall. So the primary school kid interacting today, they could end up coming to this college and taking degrees and further education in tech subjects. And technology is crucial for the future.
We've been trying to explain the bigger message behind Extreme E and behind racing, that it's not just an individual sport. There's a teamwork aspect, you know, we need engineers, we need mechanics.
So there are a bunch of different jobs that you can get into during the motorsport event.
We've been trying to show them what goes into building a race championship and a successful team. And we've also been highlighting how our sport looks at climate and how we work with legacy programs in lots of different countries. So I think that was new to them. I don't think they'd seen that in motorsport before, so it was really nice to try and explain that to them a bit.
Here in Sisimiut at the school, they focus a lot with the tech side of things, and they really make the awareness for the young kids about the climate change and the need for maybe some adjustments. For example, electric go-karts. It's a whole new chapter for the world to go electric, so this is just a small part of it. It was also so fun to see all the young girls, you know, coming forward, wanting to drive as well, and we had some chats afterwards, and it was super nice to see their interest in motorsport. It is a male-dominated sport still, but hopefully in the future we can bring that to more of an equal level.
I think what's really exciting about Extreme E is, you know, we have the ability to show gender role models to young children.
You need to steer quite a lot with it and just have fun. Okay, feel good?
Go!
You know, they had 2 Extreme E winners here. I think it's really exciting for the girls to see that it's actually 2 strong females and there's no barrier to what they can do as they grow up. What we'd like to be able to see over time is that we're inspiring, you know, young people, young women hopefully, to take up careers in engineering. So who knows, they could turn into e-mobility mechanics, they could turn into renewable energy experts, they might even turn into conservationists. And I think it's when the kids are at this age, it's a critical time to excite and entice them and hopefully inspire them.
Whilst in Greenland, the drivers could not miss the opportunity to return to the race site. And for Katie in particular, it was a special moment.
It is so amazing to be back in Greenland. We won Greenland's first international sporting event here. Me and Timmy and the whole team, we were so buzzing for that because it was our first Extreme E win.
We won it!
So now to be back here and to remember the atmosphere, it really brings back that sense of like achievement and feeling.
I remember watching this race 2 years ago and I was really like itching to get behind the wheel because it just looked so much fun. Like it looked like this track that just have every aspect of a good Extreme E track.
So this is the racetrack. It was a really tough track actually. I think it was really hard on the cars. Yeah. Because it's quite open, everyone was completely on the limit. There were so many places to overtake. And it was so fast, you know, there was massive jumps. You can see like the undulation changes from where the rivers moved. And we'd be firing up them and then jumping off them. And this feature here actually was probably the hardest.
Yeah.
Because it was at the end of the lap, it was really close. And this is where the last point was to try and make an overtake move, I guess.
These rocks are massive. Yeah, I remember watching the race and just see the cars going over these rocks.
Yeah.
It was absolutely mental. Like these ones, like how?
I remember on the track walk thinking like, I'm actually not sure I know how to drive over that without breaking the car. It's very strange being back in the winter though, because when we were racing, it was like the height of summer in August, and this was really rough. It was like rapids, flowing water. And this is actually where we jumped in when we won as well. And I think it's probably the same temperature now as it was then. I'm very excited to head to Scotland to race. Hopefully I can take some of these good vibes with me and transfer that into a couple of podiums there in Scotland.
The ship has docked. The cars have been unloaded. 20 of the world's best off-road drivers wait to battle it out on one of the most extreme courses in the championship's history. An old disused coal mine transforms into a racing track ready to be tackled by the fully electric Odyssey 21.
It's going to be cool to go to Scotland. Never been in Scotland ever before, so that's going to be a first for me. You get to see amazing spots and locations with Extreme E's. You never know what you're going to get when you are entering a new track with Extreme E, so looking forward for that.
I've never been to Scotland in my entire life. They all say it's wet, it's windy, and the gravel must be very slippery.
I'm very excited to head to Scotland to race. It's kind of a home race for me again. There's a blank canvas for the organisers to create a race from. It's more probably my style of racing there. You know, it's getting off sand that I haven't grown up on. It's not my speciality. It's back to something with a bit more feeling behind it. I think it's going to be spectacular, and hopefully I can take a couple of podiums there in Scotland.
I can't wait to see the track. The pictures look amazing, so I think it might be the best one yet.